Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in the series. We'll be covering
Okay, how do we do this? Okay, because of the audio, so working. Just maybe on our previous picture. Sounds like welcome everyone. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing a test of an RTMP stream from a different camera that's not DJi into Moblin. I haven't used this setup in a while. That's why things are a little glitchy. Audio is not so good. I think we might try dialing some of the numbers. Once again, the audio now will be better, but we'll be using the internal mic of the iPhone. I've just turned off our live streaming camera, which was the Aicoco onAir. Try something else. Okay, can't hear the preview audio right now. This is what I'm working with. Also, hello Flynn. Sorry about the audio. The internal microphones of the iPhone don't have any kind of windshielding. And this is what I've been trying to connect to the Moblin app and iPhone. This is my very first live streaming camera. Aicoco got in touch with me, asked me if I'd like to review it, and I've had it for a while. I still owe them a review, and I thought we would try and use it today. Now the audio appears to be an issue with external microphone. I did have the DJi mic mini here connected to the auxiliary input, and then I set the camera so that it would use external audio. Is it not? Well, I probably should have tested it properly beforehand. The video was working, but I didn't actually test the audio to make sure that the audio was coming through okay. So that is my bad, really. Definitely my bad on that front. I'm curious to see if this is going to work. Receiver plugged to the USB-C port into the Aicoco. I don't know, not sure. I'll spin it around. So there is the camera, or the preview. Okay. And then down here, this is the Aicoco app. It has a setting for omnidirectional mic. This one I know works flawlessly regardless. External mic has been so-so. So some setups it doesn't work, others it does, I've found. So it's not as reliable as the Omni internal mics of the Aicoco. So I had switched this to on. Let's try it again. External microphone on. I have, let's see, 1080p full HD, so we'll leave it at that. I had it set to BD, which is a high resolution, and then standard bitrate, I've changed that from high to standard. Maybe I was just trying to push too much through the S20 Ultra as the hotspot. Elk stabilization is off, so we'll turn it on. Okay. Auto white balance is on, HDR off. Scene customization, you can either have indoor or outdoor. It apparently has nothing set at the moment. I'm going to choose outdoor, see if that makes a difference. I think so. Colours look a little bit better. And everything else looks okay. So we're going to go back. Going to choose live from the options. Now, okay, this part's okay. You can stream to any of these platforms, YouTube, Twitch, RTMP. You can multi-stream to up to 3 last time I tested this. So you've got 2 options for RTMP. You've got Twitch, YouTube. So you could do YouTube, Twitch, RTMP. Let's say that third one is Kick. So you can multi-stream directly from this app to those platforms using this app. Thing is, this is where you'd want to use the internal mic as well. So I did have some audio issues when I did try multi-streaming. It appears to be not just with this app, but I think when I used Restream inside of Moblin, there'd be audio glitches as well. So there's something about multi-streaming from a mobile device that kind of screws up the external audio. But if I was to do this, which I've already done those tests, then I would use the internal microphone of the Aicoco onAir versus external. But we're going to give it another go, see if we can go live. So select RTMP, click next, and I'll just hide that info for a bit. Okay, so there's some settings. Network, which I've already set as the S23 Ultra. It's got the RTMP URL, which I grabbed from Moblin. And it's going to go live. switch back to internal mic. Hello. Okay, audio may be working now. How's the audio? Are we good? Better? Correct.
Streaming. In the last couple of videos I showed you how to set up the streaming apps you need for your phone and home PC, and how to stream with your phone on a local and remote network. Today I'm going to show you how to set up disconnect protection with Loopy SRT, which is an auto scene switching app for OBS. It monitors freezes and playback to automatically switch OBS between your live, low bitrate and offline scenes for you. We'll also look at a couple of ways to control your live stream, which is only possible because we got port forwarding to work in the last video. But if you're checking out my channel for the first time, watch the other videos in this series because we've already done a lot of the groundwork to get you to this point. Okay, the first step is to open the IRL Live folder from part 5 and add a new subfolder called Loopy SRT. Then to one side open their GitHub page, link in the description, to download the latest.
Hello. I wonder if it'd be better if I used the hotspot on the iPhone, so it's more direct, rather than through the Australian filter, which is what I usually use for the Action 4. There's a combination that'll work for all of us. I just need to figure it out. Worth a try, right?
Go with one of the first 4 download links. I'm on Windows, so I'll be downloading this one here with portable in the name. Extract the file into the Loopy SRT folder we just made, then dig into the Loopy SRT subfolders where you'll find Loopy SRT monitor.exe. Right click the file and create shortcut, then move the shortcut to the topmost folder IRL Live and rename it to Loopy SRT. If you open the app now, you might get this error. Click More Info and Run anyway. And then you should get another error, test 6 of 10 failed. And that's because we haven't configured the settings. Close the loopsrt window because we'll come back to it later. If we refer back to the releases page on the GitHub, loopsrt needs a separate app in order to communicate with OBS. There's two ways to do this, but we're going with the one they recommend, OBS WebSocket HTTP. The link for their GitHub page should be in the description just above downloads. Go to the releases page and then depending on your operating system, go with one of the first 3 download links. I'm on Windows, so I'm downloading this one into the same folder as the exe file for loopsrt. If you were to open loopsrt now, you'll notice the WebSocket file we just downloaded will open as well, but you'll still get this error, and that's because we still have some configuring to do. Go back to the loopsrt folder where you'll notice there's 2 config files. The one with default in the name is a backup. You'll need this just in case and for reference. The smallest typo in what we're going to be doing can break loopsrt, and it might be easier to start over using the backup file. Open the config.ini file, not the backup, with a plain text editor. This is where you can configure all of loopsrt's settings. I'm going to cover what you need to get up and running, but for an in-depth explanation of how this all works, you've got their GitHub and this README file here. I highly recommend you refer to them often, especially while you're trying to figure this stuff out on your own. Let's begin. From the top, change only the following fields, leaving everything else with their default settings. You can change them later if you want. For stream fail delay, replace 8 with 5. Scene OK is your live scene in OBS, replace main with scene cam 1. Scene fail is your offline or disconnected scene in OBS, replace BRB with scene BRB. Scene intro is your starting soon scene in OBS, replace intro with scene starting soon. Scene bypass is what you'd use for any scene where you don't want loopsrt to auto switch from to the BRB scene. For example, if your starting soon scene has your cam 1 as a small nested scene and your signal drops, loopsrt would switch OBS to your BRB scene when maybe you don't want it to do that until you're actually live. For now, replace none with scene starting soon. Let's add a few more non-auto switching scenes. Press enter to add a new line, then type scene bypass 2 equals scene ending soon. Then again for scene bypass 3 equals scene privacy. If you're wondering where the line is for LBR or low bit rate, Loopy already knows because we gave it the same name as scene cam 1, but with LBR at the end. Just having LBR at the end of that scene ensures that it's the LBR scene for loopsrt. Check out the README file for more info. Moving on, media source 1 is your media source on the cam 1 scene. Replace media source with source cam 1. Leave the line for WebSocket address, no changes here, but for WebSocket password, replace pass WS with your server.
Hello. It was so choppy. Are we so choppy? Yes. Hello dear, hello, how's it going? How are you doing? Something I noticed was that my iPhone was hit. Well, the personal hotspot on my iPhone was enabled. I was wondering if that was interfering with the signal. They would have 2 hotspots on. It wasn't the case. So I'm going to try that again. Try and use the iPhone as a hotspot instead of this 12. See if it makes an improvement. I think it's still choppy though, isn't it? we did, because the Aicoco supports USB stream, wireless live streaming with a computer, and also live streaming. I think if I put my Belabox, we could connect it directly to that, and then we'd have that. It appears to be an issue with RTMP. So far, that's my guess. I've done this before, I think. RTMP into RTMP? Yeah, RTMP. But I think into the Belabox. No, I know, right? I know. Okay, we're going to try this other way. We're going to go from the Aicoco straight into iPhone instead of the S20 Ultra. It's more direct for everything. So I'm going to stop streaming and then we'll be right back, okay?
The low bitrate section. For scene LBR enabled, replace false with true. Scene LBR delay, replace 0 with 1. Then onto the OBS WebSocket HTTP section. For HTTP bind port, replace 4456 with 4457 because we'll need port 4456 for something else. For HTTP auth key, after the equals symbol, add your server password from OBS. Make sure there's no spaces like in this example here. Then scroll right to the bottom. For bind to address, replace 0.0.0.0 with 127.0.0.1. Bind to port, replace 4456 with 4457. Authentication key, add your server password in OBS with a space like in the example here. WS password, replace pass WS with your server password in OBS. Save the config file but keep it open. Then try opening Loopy SRT. If it gets blocked by your firewall software, make sure you allow access. Then try opening Loopy SRT again. But if you get the test 9 error, read through the message carefully. Start over with the scene names in the config section at the top of the config file. Copy the scene names from OBS directly rather than typing them. Sometimes the smallest typo can break this part of the code. While testing, I typed the source names rather than the scene names too. So little things like that can make a difference. Then check if you don't have any missing scene names for scene OK, scene fail, scene intro, and if you correctly named your bypass scenes from scene bypass, scene bypass 2, scene bypass 3, etc. Save the config file, and this time Loopy SRT should open without a problem, but please let me know in the comments if you do get an error so I can try and replicate it and make an update to this video. For everyone else, Loopy SRT should have switched OBS to your starting scene scene, and this is good. But let's do a couple of checks to make sure everything's working. Grab your mobile, make sure it's connected to the same Wi-Fi network as your home computer, and your IRL app from last time is open. Go into the settings, connections, and check the SRT local is ticked so you can go live when you tap the big grey button on the main page. Remember to make all the changes we talked about in part 6 or you get an error message in your IRL app like this one. This is one of those things you have to get used to doing before heading out to IRL livestream. The next test is to turn off your phone's Wi-Fi and switch your connection to SRT remote. If all goes to plan and there haven't been any major changes to Loopy SRT since I made this video, you should be good to go, but if there's any issues it could be for any of the following reasons. Make sure WebSocket server in OBS is checked or enabled. Check for typos in the config file, then rewatch the whole part of the video again because the smallest thing can break everything we've done so far. Now we're not done yet because you don't have a way to control, start or stop your live stream when you're away from home, or a way to go to your privacy or ending soon scenes. The first way I'm going to show you works for both Android and iOS, and it's an app called OBS Blade. Download and install the app to a second or support phone, not your primary streaming phone. It'll be easier this way. Open the app, then swipe to add a manual connection to OBS. For the IP address field, enter your external IP address from part 6. Password is your server password in OBS. Save connection by giving it a name like IRL Live. All your scenes in OBS should now be accessible as clickable buttons. Try navigating between the non-auto switching scenes like starting soon, privacy and ending soon. The 3 dots on top right give you options to start and stop streaming or recording in OBS. But make sure bandwidth test mode is enabled first before testing this out. So here's how you can use this app for IRL live streaming. First, you can check if Loopy SRT has switched to the starting soon scene. Then from the top right menu you can start streaming in OBS to Twitch or wherever. From there you can start broadcasting with the IRL app on your primary streaming phone using the SRT remote connection. Wait a few seconds to make sure you don't get any connection errors in your IRL app. Then in OBS Blade you can tap on Scene Cam 1 to start interacting with your viewers. If you need to take a quick break, tap on the privacy scene, then back to Cam 1 when you're good to go again. For a longer break, stop broadcasting from your IRL app so Loopy SRT can switch OBS to your BRB scene. Also with OBS Blade you can add lots more scenes in OBS that you can switch between, like gameplay, slideshow or whatever. Then when you're ready to wrap up, tap on the ending soon scene, stop streaming from the menu at the top right and you're done. The next way to control your stream is with Moblin, which is an IRL live streaming app for iOS. If you're on Android, I encourage you to keep watching because Moblin as an app are doing some really interesting things for the world of IRL. And I think it's good to know what's out there if you know what I mean. Anyway, if this app is new for you, we'll create a new connection or what they call a stream from scratch. Go into the settings, then streams, create custom and SRT LA. For the URL field, add your external SRT address from part 6. For stream ID, type anything, then next. For stream name, replace custom SRT with SRT remote. Also avoid the close or cancel button on the top right because you'll have to start over. Instead, you've got create at the bottom to save your new stream. Tap again to modify SRT remote. Scroll down to enable OBS remote control, then go into its settings. For the URL field, enter your external IP address using this format: ws:/180.149.231.164:4455. Remember, this is a dummy address for demonstration purposes. Password is your server password in OBS. Source name is the Cam1 source in OBS. Tap back to save your changes, then close. Back on the main screen, look through the quick buttons for this one here, OBS. Then tap to reveal a list of stream settings and scenes from your instance of OBS, a lot like the other app, OBS Blade. If you get the unable to connect the OBS server error message, it's probably a typo in one of your settings, or your VPN or firewall software may be blocking the connection. Just do what you did in part 6 to get the SRT remote connection working and you should be good to go. And with that, we've enabled disconnect protection and can control OBS using Moblin or OBS Blade, maybe both. But let's say you'd like to auto switch between 2 phones, or maybe have a picture video right over here. Please like and subscribe because puppies. Thanks for watching. See you next time. I've been asked a few times what's the best mic for IRL live streaming, or what I thought about a particular brand or model. If you've tuned into my live streams, you'll know I've tried lots of different mics, and to me my favourite so far is the Aicoco J12. Today we're going to look at all the reasons why I like this wireless mic system for mobile devices. Let's start by looking at what you get in the box. The Aicoco J12 comes with 2 transmitters, 1 receiver with USB pass-through charging, a USB cable and charging case. The transmitters last up to 7 hours, with the charging case giving them an additional 4 to 5 charges.
You get up to 20 meters of transmission distance, but for me I'm almost always within arm's reach of my phone. The receiver is powered by the phone's internal battery, or for longer live streams you can plug an external battery bank with a USB cable into the charging port on the receiver. This keeps both the phone and receiver charged. On a side note, I'm really fond of these magnetic USB cables which reduce the wear and tear on the pass-through port. I just wish you could close the charging case fully with the magnetic adapter on. The Ulanzi comes in two versions for Lightning or USB-C devices, so if you own an Android or an older iPhone you'll need both types. By the way, I tried 4 transmitters with one receiver and my receiver would only accept 2 transmitters at a time. Also tried using a 2-phone setup, but they interfered with each other as if they're on the same channel. I couldn't find any channel info on the packaging, so it's possible all the Ulanzi J12s are made this way, or I just happen to own 2 that are on the same channel. In other words, use one at a time, not both. There's almost no setup for the Ulanzi, unlike some systems that force you to download and install a mobile app. Just plug the Ulanzi receiver into the phone and turn on the transmitter. Hello, how are we doing now? How are we doing? Looking much better. Okay, so I do have the the Action 4 on me. Switch to that. I do want to point out I've been using it for a lot longer. Last 3 to 4 months I think. So in terms of settings and everything's dialed in, you know. So all I have to do is just turn it on, connect it, and then we're away. Whereas I should really have checked and made sure things were good on the Aicoco onAir before just trying to wing it like I did today. Hey guys. What we do have is a comparison between the visual look of the Action 4 and Aicoco onAir. The main thing is we got the video to work, but it was really the audio which was giving us a bit of grief. Sometimes you gotta try it, indeed. I know, right? Sometimes. Yeah. I was kind of hoping that it would just work, you know. I had all the steps and things in my head, and well, basically create an RTMP ingest. Then you need a just turn down this preview. So you create an RTMP ingest inside of your app, Moblin. You also need a hotspot that's really good, which is S20 Ultra. That's what I'm using right now as my hotspot. And then you need to create a scene inside of Moblin for your action camera. You also need to, I'm forgetting a step. Scene, ingest, and if it's a DJi device that you've got, like the Action 4, Pocket 3, then you create a DJi device inside of Moblin as well. So there's a couple places where you need to go in order to set this up. So I was purely trying to do RTMP only with this setup today, using the Aicoco onAir, my first live streaming camera. And that's basically what you do if you don't have an Action 4 or GoPro. Moblin has GoPro in here too. So let's say if you had the Insta360 range of action cameras, I don't know, X4, X5, this is what you'd attempt to do. Go RTMP from the action camera software. Aicoco has their app called, I think it's called Live. Yeah, Aicoco Live. So you use that app in order to stream somewhere. Now I know when you stream direct, it's better. I've done 4K live streaming with the Aicoco onAir. No problem. Internal microphones, and it worked really good. 4K, which I thought it would drop, but yeah, it worked fine. And then whenever I've tried to go RTMP from a live streaming app, not Moblin, to somewhere else, the only way I've really been able to get it to work is by using IRL hosting or an RTMP endpoint. Kenty Fried Dice CR. Hello, how's it going? Have I had dinner? I have not. And there's a really nice dinner at home, which is roast pork, I think. So roast meat and veggies. Looking forward to it. Thank you for the follows. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, so today's test a bit of a fail. So what I'd planned on doing is just get all up and running and then just go like that. Video looked okay from my setup at home. Didn't check the audio, so that was my bad. We tried it the other day, and we also didn't have audio there. I thought maybe it was my settings. One of the settings inside the live app wasn't quite right. So I thought I dialed everything in, and nah. So tricky stuff. Yeah, I have gotten this to work before. I believe I've got the settings and things all the way back then when we originally did the tests with the Aicoco onAir. So I just need to look back on that and then see what I did back then. RTMP. Night markets. Oh yeah, that'd be over by Silent Park. Run by a new guy. Wait a minute, hold on. Run by a new guy? Oh, there's someone new there. Okay. Monopoly lady. I don't know what you mean. Oh, at Victoria Park. Oh, okay. No, I haven't heard of that one. That's cool. They need a bit more life over there. I'm going to keep that in mind. Won't do it today, but I'd love to go have a look. I'm not dressed. It's really cold now. It's freezing as. When I started, the weather was nice, sun was out, and now it's cold. I feel like I'm on a mountain, climbing Mount Everest or something. Not even. I also don't have my battery bank and all the extra gear I usually take with me. The plan was just to be a short live stream. Demonstrator working, Aicoco with the external audio, and live stream, and then be able to see guys, this is how you do it, and then issues galore. Open circle markets, first day today, content if you want. Oh, okay. No, I don't think my gear will last that long without the battery. I did have a look at Auckland events, didn't see anything there. But thank you for the suggestion. We're going to have to do it another time. Yeah, thank you. Let's see. Alright, so that was the stream today. We had the Aicoco onAir. We did get the video to work. Audio didn't work, not sure why. We had the external receiver here, cable running into the Aicoco onAir. So there's just the one port for auxiliary input that was connected to the transmitter, which I have on here. And you can set the external mic on and off, and they'll switch between the external mic, this one here, and the let's see, and what they call omnidirectional mics, the internal mics of the Aicoco, which are mostly here, where I've got this little fuzzy thing, and then there's a little windshield for the Aicoco. I did try to use one or the other. External audio was well, no audio at all. We were powered on, both the receiver and the transmitter. So see that little green light, that means that the receiver is on and is connected to the transmitter. So that was on. I don't think there's anything wrong with this cable. They should have brought the Holiday Larkin 2 kit with me, because I did a test of this and the other one. So I cancel, confirm. Then we were running out of battery on the Aicoco in there, and great thing about this is you can actually take the battery out. You'll have about 10 minutes of battery life before you need to pop in another one, and they have a kit which comes with 2 batteries, so you can swap them out. I installed an update which was to version 1.1.8, I think, so it's the latest software. I wonder if that affected my audio in some way. And there's a port here, USB-C, which I think may be just for power to charge the battery that's in here. Because we tried the DJi Mini receiver plugged directly to the USB-C port, and it didn't seem to work. So if I can power it down, shut it down. I got you, man. Couple hours left. Oh, okay. New player, hopefully reduce prices. Wow. That's always a good thing. Lower prices. So yeah, I will check it out for sure. So I might try to get this working. I'll do some proper tests back home, and then if I can get it working, I will do another stream. Might make it a members only live stream on YouTube. By the way, Mondays will be a members day. So if you do want to become a member, that'd be cool. Otherwise, all good. Yeah, so Action 4 has been a great action camera. I did want to highlight this one here, the Aicoco idea, which was my very first live streaming camera. So let's spin it around because it does rotate, and I'll try and get both of them in frame. So that is the difference between the Action 4 and the Aicoco in here. Let's put it one in front of the other. The form factor of the Aicoco is very reminiscent of it's the 360 X4.5. So it has that sort of shape, even though it isn't a 360 camera. This one allows you to do lots more things that even Action 4 can't do. So what I like about this is it can multi-stream straight out of the software. You can stream to YouTube. What options did it give you? Yeah, I'm sure there's YouTube in there before. Yeah, it's a live streaming camera. You can do USB. I should try that. Maybe I should give that a go. Have it connected via USB to the Belabox. That's right. Shut off. Yeah. So YouTube, Twitch, and gives you 2 RTMPs that you can stream to. So pretty cool features that this has. And I would actually like to test all of the live streaming cameras. Maybe we'll get there at some point, so that would be fun to be able to compare the differences. But at the moment I just have the two. I've got the Action 4 and the Aicoco onAir, and I've been really enjoying the Action 4 for what it can do. Oh, not that one. Wrong app. Don't need that. Yeah, this thing is so small. Okay, alright, well we're going to wrap things up there, folks. Before my iPhone, before everything runs out of battery. Just a short stream today, impromptu one. Quick test of the Aicoco onAir. Video looked okay from what I could tell on my screen here. So I'm quite curious to see what the quality is like of the Aicoco video. And I'm sure we could fix the audio. Hey, you're welcome. Welcome, Kenty. Yeah, so let's just wrap it up there. Thanks again. My usual streaming day is Friday from, let's say, 2 PM New Zealand Standard Time. So it's quite late. I had things to do today. I wasn't even thinking about live streaming, and then I thought, hey, let's just give this a go. Let's try it out. And well, you know. Yeah, so normally I stream earlier than this. And maybe if we do another Sunday stream, we'll be able to check out that market. Yeah, love me a market. Okay, alright. Let's wrap things up. Thanks again everyone who did tune in. Who did we have? We had Kenty, we had Flamion, Halo, that's as far back as my list goes. I'm sure there are some other names in there, but go now man. If I had more layers I would, but it's just too cold, eh? It's cold as. But hey, thanks. Yeah, love seeing your competition, indeed. Alright, pack this up. We should do more market streams, eh? I've only been able to do a couple. It's nice to have another one in the city. Oh, hey, I don't know. But okay. That's no good, eh? Cheers. Cheers. Indeed. Okay, right. Timer's almost all out, so we've got a couple seconds to go. Thank you everyone. Hope you have a good one. See you next time.